Good day everyone. As a partial requirements in our subject in data mining, I will be discussing about the dataset Facebook Live Selling in Thailand. I will be performing some process using Weka. But first, let me discuss about this dataset. Facebook Live Selling in Thailand is a dataset all about the live selling feature in a Facebook platform, wherein it is the record of a seasonal changes that happens in every live videos which contains hourly, daily, and monthly changes in their videos that will help them to identify if they are going to remove or post their live footage. This dataset is important since it was made to classify the everyday event that happens in the live video selling that contains the number of reactions and shares of their live selling. Since we are going to perform pre-process in this dataset, we are using some application that will help us to normalize our dataset in an efficient way. So I will be using Weka in normalizing this dataset. But before that, it is important that we are aware in the importance of performing this process. Normalization is an essential part of product information management since it is used for preventing data from being replicated in two tables at the same time or unrelated product data from being gathered together in the same table. In addition, normalization helps to streamline your data, simplifying your database and making it more concise. I will be going to open my web application to perform normalization in my chosen dataset. To access your data, click Open File, then find your chosen dataset. After that, determine its file type to access your dataset. To normalize your data, you need to click Choose, then open the Weka file, then click Unsupervised, then choose the normalize process. As you can see, after our normalization, we can see a normalized graph here. To save your normalized dataset, click the Save button, then save it as CSV file. To access your normalized data, you need to open it in Microsoft Excel. As you can see, there is changes in our dataset. We are seeing in the display screen that our data is being normalized. As you can see here, our data turned out to be a decimal since it was normalized. It is our original data, and it is obvious that we perform normalization since it looked like this before the normalization process. On the other part, we are going to perform some process like classification and clustering process. I will also use my chosen data, the Facebook live selling in Thailand, to perform the process. You just need to click the classify in the upper part. As you can see, there is a zero R on the upper side. But before starting the classification, it is important that we know what the zero R means. If we say zero R, it is your baseline and it means that the result cannot be lower than that. You can also display the settings in processing. The purpose of this setting is for you to decide on the result that you want for your data. If you don't want to display or check the capabilities, click the True button. You can also change the other elements in the setting to display the result that you prefer. Since we are already done in changing the settings, click the Start button, then the result will be pop up or display in the screen. As you can see, there is a 12 attributes and in my dataset, then it's instances 7050. The summary is being calculated. It was seen that the correlation coefficient becomes 0.0299, mean absolute error becomes 0.2128, root mean squared error becomes 0.7268, relative absolute error becomes 100%, root relative squared error becomes 100%, and also, as I said earlier, the total number of instances is 7050. I will also going to try the clustering in my chosen data. So I will choose simple k-means. To manipulate our process, we are going to change the settings. If we don't want to check our capabilities, we are going to set it as a true. If we want to replace missing values, we are going to set it as a true. But changing the settings depends on the result that you want for your process or dataset. When you actually finish changing the settings, click the Start button to display your result. We've seen in the result that the clustering shows the exact time and date and the number of reactions in every live videos that they perform. To the user with the status ID 3525.5 that published the video in 2018 154, it was seen that the number of reaction is 230.1172. The evaluation calculate that there is a two clustered instances in the dataset Facebook live selling in Thailand. The process also identified that the clustered instances with the 4501 is equals to 64% and another clustered instances 2549 with a percent of 36%. To visualize your graphical result, right-click the simple k-means, then click the Visualize Cluster Assignment. As you can see, we already view the graphical result of our dataset. To see the graphical result of the other attributes, just click the arrow on the upper side, then you will see the graphical result of the dataset attributes. One interesting factor that can be explored from the data is the impact of time in engagement. From the status published, we can create a segment of a day such as early morning, noon, evening, and night. Another new variable idea will be the days such as working day or weekend. Generally, Facebook Live sellers may be trying to earn a side income and selecting free time from work. The seller may have a hunch on the best time they are getting audience and revenue. By creating this variable, we may be able to frame a use case. One can create a couple of new machine learning use cases from this new data.